have the holidays coming up. So I wanted to kind of give you an overview of what to expect all the way to the end. Might be some minor adjustments, and I'm certainly open to suggestions, but this is kind of the way I think it's going to end. Our last unit is on giving presentations. Up until this point, I would imagine most of you have had to use PowerPoint, and a teacher has asked you to maybe look up a subject. You put the information on different PowerPoint slides, probably lots of text on different PowerPoint slides, and then give it in front of a class, or just print it out and turn it in to the teacher. Well, I'm going to try to get you, the whole point of our unit, I'm going to try to get you to think about giving a presentation in a totally different way. I want you to start thinking about actually explaining your idea and getting your thought across and doing whatever it takes to make that happen. So this week, the presentations, I have quite a few presentations for you to look at and kind of analyze and think about as far as how they're different from maybe what you have seen in the past. And this first one is simply amazing to me because it uses tons of data, but it is so interesting. And this is a little bit of a different tool that I have never used before, so I'm totally open to feedback about it. It's a TED product. TED is a website with lots of interesting videos and clips on it. And so the video that you'll watch is here, and then when you're done, I just have 2 questions for you to answer, and you just click the Think tab and do that. I hope you really do enjoy it. It takes a little bit of time to get used to his accent, but just when you start to think about all the data that's presented and how interesting it is, I think you'll start to get an idea of what I'm talking about. The next assignment or the next video that I'm going to have you watch is kind of, hopefully you'll find some humor in it, but talks about all the common mistakes that people who give PowerPoint presentations make. So this one's pretty short and quick, and I, again, hope you enjoy it. Then I have Steve Jobs. It's actually an analyst kind of analyzing how Steve Jobs gives a presentation. And if you're not familiar with Steve Jobs, he is the founder of Apple, and he passed away last year. But his presentations in front of an audience were always very good. I think the one thing that you'll notice consistently is that there is very little text in their presentations. The focus is on what the person is saying, and the presentation in the background just helps to support that. That's kind of probably a shift from what you're used to when you've given a presentation. Let's see. So there's lots to watch this week and get an idea of. There are resources for you kind of in the middle of the week. 7 aspects to highly effective presentation. This is something you can either read or watch. To be honest, what they have to say is really good. The way they present it is a little bit dry, so sorry about that. And then if you just kind of maybe don't think you've got what I'm saying, or just need some entertainment, this website has just lots of different kinds of presentations. All of them I think are very entertaining and appropriate to watch, and different. Because it depends on the message, or the message you're trying to say depends on the presentation you're going to be creating. The week will end with you creating a Google Docs presentation. We're going to use, Google Docs has a presentation tool software. It looks a lot like PowerPoint and works a lot like PowerPoint. So I don't have a video for you to watch, but I do have some examples if you want to. That presentation is going to be on the animal of your choice. It's fairly short. I just want you to be familiar with the tool. And at this point, this week, you're not going to have to do any speaking. You're just putting together the slides. But I do want you to think about it, and if it were something that you had to speak to present, should there be less text? Should the, those are the components I want you to think about this week as you're creating them. The second presentation that you'll be creating is going to use Prezi. There are all kinds of tools that you can use to give presentations. So Google Docs is the one we're going to use, and then Prezi is something that I want you to just play with. Again, they're pretty short presentations, and for this week, you're only going to be putting the presentation together. You don't have to worry about talking. But just to give you a heads up, next week, you will have to create a presentation, and you will have to speak and give the presentation. I'm working on some options for you with that. If you'll remember at the beginning of the class, I did ask if you had a way to record yourself, whether with a webcam or video camera or something, and all of you told me you did. So that's always an option. You can set up a camera and record your presentation. But I'm going to try to find a tool similar to what I'm using that will allow you to show the presentation on your laptop and record your voice while you're giving it. So for those of you that don't really like to watch yourself give a presentation, you could listen to yourself give a presentation. So as always, don't hesitate to ask me any questions. I said I was going to talk about to the end of the course. So that's this week. Next